little reptile freaks. My name is Stephanie. You're watching New Light Reptiles. I am a certified master herpetologist as well as a reptile keeper. This here is my friend Lyle, who's going to join us for the video as long as he decides to stay here. Today we are just going to do a very basic video about gut loading feeder insects for your reptiles. Now, this is a very important practice that needs to be done for your reptiles. A lot of the feeder insects that we breed in captivity for our reptiles are lower on the nutrition end, so it's really important to gut load just to add that extra bit of nutrition and vitamins and all that good content for your reptiles. Now, with me saying that the insects that you buy at the pet store being lower nutrient dense than wild insects does not mean I recommend feeding your animal wild insects. Never do that. Those can often cause pretty serious health issues for your reptiles. A lot of them do carry parasites and other things that are just harmful, so don't do it. Just get your captive bred feeders and gut load them. Okay, Lyle wanted to go back, so I had to put him away there. Another thing to add is that it's really important to be considerate of what type of insects you're feeding your reptiles as well. Different insects have different moisture, calcium, fiber, protein levels. So I'm going to post a chart for you right now. The reason it's important to take this into consideration is that you may have a underweight reptile that needs to eat something with a little bit higher fat content, or maybe you have a reptile that needs a little bit moisture, or you have a balanced reptile, etc., etc. So this is just what kind of lends to the benefits of various insects. However, it's also very important that you are providing variety as well. There are also just certain insects like dubia roaches that are the top of the game. They just have great nutrition to them. They're also really easy to breed at home if you want to keep them yourself. And simply put, they're just a great staple everyday feeder. The last thing that I wanted to add is that it's important to be dusting your insects as well when you are feeding them out to your reptiles. And by dusting, I mean shaking a supplement onto your feeders, whether it be calcium or a multivitamin. Do be careful with vitamin D3, as high levels of it can be toxic to your reptiles. So if you're already providing UVB, you may not need to provide D3, or just maybe not that often. So I recommend talking to your vet about that and doing lots of research about the correct supplementation. Okay, now that we have all this covered, let's go gut load some insects and I will show you how it's done. First thing you want to do before you get started is have a snack, because all this delicious gut loading is going to make you hungry. Okay, so we're going to prep our containers. Guys, I just saw a squirrel take a dump in my backyard. I think that's the first time I've ever seen a squirrel actually poop. Anyway, back to this. So I'm just gonna rip up a little bit of this egg crate for the crickets. They like little cave type spaces to hide in. It'll just help them to kind of live a little bit longer. Crickets in general, they don't live very long. And when they die, they smell terrible. So I've got this all filled up for them. Plenty of places to crawl. The next thing I'm going to add is this Missouri Better Bug gut loading. Now I recommend this on top of the fresh vegetables just because it has a little bit more vitamins, and then adds a little bit more protein as well. So this is something my veterinarian recommended to me. So I just like to shake it a little bit all over for them to munch on. And then also to keep them hydrated, I'm using these cricket quenchers. I like to usually get just the plain water ones. I think you can order them on Amazon to use for like plants and stuff like that. But this is just what I have on hand. It'll be okay for today. Spread those out in there. Also, having hydrating veggies will help them as well. All right, so now I'm gonna add some fresh veggies. I just chopped up a little bit of butternut squash. Throw that in there. Basically, you want to be adding vegetables that you'd want your animal to be consuming. At least the whole point of gut loading. Then I'm also going to add some leafy greens. These are just turnip greens. Throw those in there as well. All right, that should be more than enough. And then after that, we're just gonna add our insects. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw these crickets on in there. And open the bag. And I like to just pour them on in. Do it kind of gently because they do hop out. Perfect, we got them all. Pop that lid on there. The good thing about these critter keeper totes is that they have plenty of ventilation. Crickets need a lot of that. But now I'm just gonna let these guys hang out for the next 24 to 48 hours before I feed them. And then my reptiles and amphibians will have a very healthy protein source. So I also have a dubia roach colony as well that I constantly keep gut loaded, and they are in just a big tub here. I will do another video on starting a dubia roach colony, but raising your own feeder insects is awesome. It cuts back on money and you're ensuring a good source of healthy protein. So they have a little water dish in here. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that is full. And then I'm gonna just add some veggies for them as well. They're also getting butternut squash and some greens. As easy as that, they're gonna munch on it. We're gonna have some healthy dubia roaches as well. All right, guys, well, that's all that I have for you today. That is just a basic overview of how to gut load your insects for your reptiles. Hopefully that provided a little information for you. I am new here, so if you can like or subscribe to my channel, or even better, both, it would mean the world. It helps me out so much. If you have any questions, suggestions, recommendations for other videos, leave it in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys all next week. Bye.